get lost in the rabbit hole. Connect every emotion, experience, adventure, struggle, pain, and achievement. Know the past, feel the future, and live this moment with Nisha Haraale. Every Sunday on Niche Radio.
Hi everyone, and thank you for tuning in to our 21st episode of Let's Get Lost in the Rabbit Hole with me, Nisha Haraale, on Niche Radio. And in conversation with me today is a super talented DJ, music producer, and a role model to many. Let's say hello to Naveed Khan, aka Browncoat. Hi Naveed, aka Browncoat. Are you all set to get lost in the rabbit hole?
Hi Nisha, yes, all set to get going. Really looking forward to your questions.
Why the name Browncoat?
It's actually based on a TV show called Firefly. Back in the day, I used to love the show. It's about space cowboys and like kind of Star Trek. And the fans of the show are called Browncoats. And also for the fact that I'm nice and tanned, like most beautiful Indian people. I think so the Browncoat name kind of stuck from there.
Where were you born and raised?
I was born right here in Mumbai. Born and raised, been here most of my life. Lived in Bangalore for a year. I was working as a DJ at a club called Latitude. So that's the only thing. But yeah, proper Mumbai boy.
When did you start your musical journey?
I think I started back when I was still in high school. I loved the whole concept of DJing, and when I saw Akbar Sami play at one of my school's annual function, and I really was fascinated by it. I really went deep into it, did a lot of amateur DJing, even played for my school's prom. And then professionally, I started learning, I think, in 1999. So it's been a good couple of decades now that I've been DJing.
What does music mean to you?
Music is a getaway for me, actually. It can be all kinds of emotions for me. It can be frustration. It can be joy. It can be elation. It can be excitement. It can be euphoric. You never know when you're setting to make some music. It can be any emotion. You can't predict where you're going to end up. So that's me while making music. Obviously, when listening to music, it's definitely a getaway where you can just get lost in it for those few minutes. The world outside doesn't matter. You can just close your eyes and just breathe in some amazing music.
Let's go back in time. How was it when you played for the first time? How was the feeling?
It was elating. It was exciting. Ignorance truly can be bliss at times. Like I had no idea what I was doing, but just the whole feeling of playing music of two discmen without any controls and a very amateur mixer. Just not knowing what you're doing, just putting tracks together, fading them in and out. It was just exciting. It was just like the best feeling ever. Obviously, looking back, you would laugh. Anybody would laugh at somebody trying to attempt that kind of DJing now. But for me, it was just a step into a brand new world, a very happy new world.
How was the experience when you played your track which you produced for the first time?
I can't describe it. What happens is when you're making a track, you hear it in and out for days and weeks. And by the time you finish it, you are so saturated with it that it takes you at least 3 to 4 months to come out of that saturation. But the real joy is not playing it. The real joy is basically seeing people respond to something that you've created. It's your own creation. You can't describe it in words because it's just an unreal feeling.
What makes a good music producer?
I believe there are two kinds of music producers. There are pure music producers who know everything about making music and everything, and there are DJs who produce music. So DJs produce very dance floor oriented. It's to a point, basically, it's designed for a dance floor. But most producers, pure producers, are basically technically more savvy. They will be trying to like, they'll be trying to tease your brains and ears to new frequencies and new sounds. I think so these are two kinds of producers. So, and a good producer will always know what he wants as a final product. And that's what actually makes a good producer, to know what you want.
What makes a good DJ?
Continuing from the producer, same, a good DJ, basically, there are again quite a few variants when it comes to DJing. There are people who are very good at entertaining a crowd. There are DJs who can really take a crowd on a journey. And there are technically really, really adept DJs who can really technically dish out so many tricks on the mixes. So it's totally dependent on the person, what journey he wants to take. So, but yeah, a good homework on everything, basically, whether it's practicing your skills at home, listening to the music, downloading or going through hundreds of tracks, making sure that your arsenal and everything is ready. That makes a good DJ. Like do your homework, give it that time, no matter your skills, no matter your outcome, give it that little legit time at home before, be prepared when you're up there to play.
Did you goof up anytime?
I've goofed up more often than I would like to. It's just that having a little bit more experience, you tend to cover up your goof-ups very easily. There have been times when I've played the wrong tracks. There have been times when I've been playing with my bass cut out completely or the filter on. So these are things that you don't realize. There are times when I loop wrong or exited the loop wrong and it just go wrong. So goof-ups happen at every level. Even the most sound DJ will do a goof-up. It's just the experience will enable you to cover the goof-up easily.
Did anyone come and ask you for song requests at the underground events that you played?
It happens all the times. It's just the song requests are basically, instead of really crappy ones, you still get people who request popular underground tracks. I know it's a weird thing to say popular underground tracks, but there are some songs which kind of become the chart toppers and people do tend to request. Not that many. It's a rarity that people actually come and request something when it comes to underground nights. So, but yeah, it does happen.
How important is getting education or being educated in your field?
I think education by default is important no matter which field you go in. Education makes you a more open person. It opens up your brain to basically accepting different things. It is very important regardless of the field that you choose. I really believe being educated, you don't have to be the most intellectual person, but yeah, get your basic education. It prepares you for the world. Education is one of the most important things, no matter what field you want to take in.
You are a music producer and a DJ. What's your take on it? How important are both roles, and do both roles need each other?
Being a DJ, I think so it's become it's an easy skill to acquire. The technicality of being a basic DJ, it's very easy. Anybody can just pick it up. It's not that difficult. What sets you apart is basically what do you do other than just DJing. Anybody can just land up and play music off a pen drive. So what sets you apart now is what music you make and how much of your set is your original work, because that's what makes the crowd want to come and see you. That's the reason why I would go and watch a CSD or an Eric Price, because I love what he produces. So the same way, it's very important, at least in 2020, in this century at least, that as a DJ, if you want to go reach anywhere, with regards to success and getting an audience, you have to make your music. Obviously, it does make a lot of difference that if you're a bad DJ, you will never have that audience come back to your DJ sets. But yeah, both of these things go hand in hand. You need to be a good DJ. You need to do justice to the music you're playing. And at the same time, you need to have your own music, which can be paired with music that other producers make.
How has your journey been so far?
I can only say that I've been one of the lucky ones. I've been blessed to basically be where I am when it regards to DJing as a profession. It's enabled me to travel the world. I've seen parts of the world that I would have not dreamt of seeing. So I'm very happy. The journey has been really great. I've kept on challenging myself. I started Browncoat project even though my Naveed Khan name was doing quite well with regards to music. I started this as a creative outlet, and now I only do Browncoat project. So it's been fun. It's been different. I've tried experimenting with my career every few years, and I'm very happy where I am right now.
What change do you wish to see in the music industry?
More than change in the music industry, I would have loved to see a change in the outlook towards dance music from our society and culture, like where people think it's taboo even now. And I would want people to be more welcoming because it's such a beautiful thing. We work so hard, people just slog their hours and hours into office work and their businesses. This is the only outlet. It's very important. I hope people see it, like our societies and the government sees this as a necessity and not just a plaything for a few. It's a necessity basically. Just it's an outlet. Like all the frustration and hard work that people go through, this is how you kind of get a release. And I really wish this would change about our society.
Tell us about your journey with Submerge.
I pretty much owe everything that I am professionally to Nikhil and Pearl and Submerge by default, because I was born in basically quite like I could say like a lower middle class family in Bombay, and not really a very prosperous home. So coming from there, and everything I am, from the way I speak to the way I am to the way I see the world, is because of how Nikhil and Pearl have groomed me, taught me. They're like second set of parents that, godparents, fairy godmother and fairy godfather for me. They've taught me everything that I see in the world, and I'll forever be indebted to them. And yeah, so Submerge for me is always going to be family. As long as they exist, I will be with them.
Times we are in, everything is online. Where do you think is the music industry headed to?
For the past few, I think so, decades, music industry has been dependent on the revenue from live shows, because music has been free relatively thanks to internet. So you can't really make money off selling music or streaming music. Most of the money artists would make was via touring and basically ticket sales on ground. So hopefully that's the only thing that's going to happen. I don't think so any other change is going to happen. Once this COVID lockdown mess goes down, it will be business as usual. And I don't see any other major changes because people are too used to having music for free, and streaming platforms are too much of a giant to basically take again. So yeah, that's going to happen.
What are your future projects coming up?
I've just signed on one of my tracks to one of my favorite producers, Jerome Ismail. It was quite a pleasant surprise that he really reached out and he really liked the track. So that's gonna come early 2021. Just finished a remix for Strina, which is gonna release soon. He's another favorite producer of mine. I was really happy that he liked the remix. I've got a track coming out on Inner Symphony, and I've got an EP coming out on Yotto's label, Odd One Out, hopefully end of the year. Still waiting on confirmation on that. So yeah, all these things, lots of releases.
Where can one follow you and find your music?
All my social media handles, Facebook, Twitter, SoundCloud, Spotify and Instagram, they're all Browncoat Music, one word. So if you just put in that, you'll see. And luckily I'm verified on all accounts, so you can find me with a blue tick mark on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter and SoundCloud. SoundCloud doesn't have a blue tick mark, but you'll probably find an orange tick mark or something.
Three rules on how to party safe and healthy.
Keep yourself hydrated. Do not drink more than your capacity, and make sure you eat a healthy lunch before sleeping, and at least have half a liter of water before sleeping to avoid hangovers and ill health the next day.
Advice to young aspiring artists.
I would say go to YouTube. That's how I've learned. Watch tutorials. Just put in like how was this particular track made or how to produce this genre. Go through tutorials. Go through tutorials. Learn the skills. Learn the skills. Find a music teacher. Learn how basically the theory of music because these are important things. There's no shortcut. You are not. Nobody's gonna basically come and just hand you success. So all these things, it's boring. I know sitting and watching the same tutorial over and over again. It's not the most fun thing to do to go through tutorials, but you have to do the hard work if you want success. It's not just this field, any field. You'll have to put in the hard work. There's no shortcut to success. Please put in your homework. Please put in the time, and you will eventually find success.
Thank you, Naved, for taking us through your journey. Here's wishing you all the very best, sending tons of love your way, and looking forward to all your future projects.
Thank you so much for having me, Nisha. It was good to finally just think through all these questions. It's been a crazy lockdown, been locked in my studio. That's why all this music is coming out. It's nice to finally just speak your mind out. I wish you well. Thank you for having me.
And thank you to all our listeners for tuning in today. Do catch me again next Sunday at 10 a.m. And enjoy this next track coming up from Browncoat. And also have a super Sunday and a super day ahead.